Hey there, YouTube studio family. Coming back to you today for the second part of the 2018 Mac Mini and using it with legacy control surfaces or products, mostly legacy. Um, I said that I would get back to you and let you know whether it works with the Digio 3. By the way, I guess this is the first time you're actually seeing my little studio from the front. Yeah, the front of me where the speakers are looking to the back. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain there. Still got a lot of rock wool and stuff in the closet back there. And I'm still working on making a couple more. I don't know if you can see them of these. Well, it's on this side of these um, base absorbers. Because, like I said, it's two behind me, it's two in front of me, and two on the side of me. And I kind of want to put four of them in the back there to try to help with some of these low frequencies and our standing waves. Um, to finish up with this part, uh, good news and bad news. The bad news is the Digio 3, or let me say this first. The 2018 Mac Mini, which is over here to my right, your left, um, doesn't, it has Catalina, I believe, Catalina 1015.3, which I believe is the reason why it's not compatible with the Digio 3. Had it had Mojave, I think it would have worked. Um, so my baby here, the Digio 3, as it stands with Mojave, what is it, Catalina 1015, is not going to work. Um, I bought a Thunderbolt 3 that had the Firewire 800, and all I had to do was get the adapter 400 to plug into the 800, which in turn would have went into the back of the Mac Mini. Um, it it didn't see the Digio 3 1, and it really didn't want to see the USB 3 dock station. It may have had something to do with the core, because now I'm learning a little bit more about um, the Thunderbolt cables. And you seem to keep looking at the screen here, as I make sure that the volume is not too loud. But Thunderbolt is a brand, from what I understand. It's a brand. It's not necessarily saying that it's Thunderbolt 3 data cables, like the cables you get, like when you get your iPhone or whatever the case may be, or you get something. It does not necessarily mean that it's a Thunderbolt 3 cable, it's fastest cable, or even that it's a data cable. Sometimes the charging cable you get with your phone is a charging cable and not a data cable. It's like 6 different types of Thunderbolt cables, which I found out. And the one that I bought from the Staples in my area, it said Thunderbolt, but when you use it and you plug it into a Thunderbolt 3 input, it says USB 3, even though it's a Thunderbolt cable. It has more to do with speed, from what I understand, than than the word Thunderbolt. But that's another story. So, um, it doesn't work with the Digio 3. The question is further, can I use the 2018 Catalina with Pro Tools 12, or they call it 2020.3? The answer is yes, it works. It doesn't seem to have any problems. I actually downloaded it. I downloaded the Fruity Loops 20, what is it, Studio. That works fine. Also, I'm coming to you now from now. Like I told you, I wanted to be able to shoot video from the computer. I know this doesn't look that good because, of course, the little webcam I got is old. I think this is like 720 or 1080. So at least you're getting this vantage point, and you're able to see, the room from this point of view. So that's different. So now when I do things, you can actually see the room more expansively. As we go through this journey with our home studios. I said that I wanted to create an editing station like this here with the mixer and the Grace Design M905, which I previewed in a prior video. This is just the controller part, which I sit on the channels here when I'm not using the actual mixer. So, how was that? The wind blowing. So we actually have that there. Then the M Audio 88 key, which I use, and it works good through USB with the Mac Mini to actually. Give me a second. Alright, to actually use with the Mac Mini, it works USB. I thought you would have to have MIDI going into the computer, but it runs fine off of USB to use this MIDI keyboard. Can you see it here? I'm going to use this controller, this USB MIDI controller through USB, hopefully, to use the faders, because they're moving faders, to see if it works with the computer, with Pro Tools. But I'm gonna see if I can do that. I got a couple little bits here. A Korg Tribe MK2. Get some sounds off of it. And of course, this is my equipment rack, which you can't see now. And then we have the Yamaha Motif, which I'm going to route into the patch bay, so I'll be able to pull it up on the mixer and run it inside the interface once it gets here. Which that's another thing that was an issue. I have an interface coming from through New York. And like I said, because of the coronavirus being so prominent there, I guess the mail is moving slow, or the packages are moving slow. So that's it. That's one of the issues. But I'm going to show you where I got the Mac Mini sitting at. I'm going to have to move this camera to actually show you. I'm going to point it down, actually, so that you can actually see it. I have it sitting on, the desk here, on some blocks of wood, and I have my USB peripherals going through it, so that I can plug up the mouse and the laptop and all the stuff like that. And as you see here to the side, I have the equipment rack, and what you see on top are cables, and all those thick cables are waiting for the interface to come. Those are 32 channels, so I have like 8 of those DB25 cables to actually use the interface. So yeah, that's that. Um, so just to recap, as it stands right now, the Digio 3 doesn't work with the 2018 Mac Mini, or at least, or best, which one it is. It doesn't work with Catalina. Um, I think that just about covers it for the part 2 with the 2018 Mac Mini. Um, I actually, like I said, I downloaded the screen capture part, and I don't know if I can hear myself if I turn this up. Let me see, so that I can let you guys hear or pull up. Let's see if it'll actually work. If I can actually move my mug off the screen, down off the screen. Yeah, I'm kind of getting technologically savvy. If I can move this down off the screen so you can actually see. I actually played with Pro Tools, right? I actually played with Pro Tools to see. Oh yeah, and the sound you're hearing right now is the fan from the if you hear it from the Mac Mini, right? It's not loud at all. Um, it's just like a whisper quiet thing. But when I'm in here and I'm using Pro Tools or whatever, you don't hear anything. Let me see what happens if I pull it up. I don't even know if it's gonna. This is like the first time I'm using the screen capture, so we're gonna see how this works. It looks like it's actually working while the screen capture is up. So I'm not gonna use both TV screens. I'm just gonna use the one, and and see, because I really just downloaded the 2020. But let's see if this is the one that I was actually playing with today. Let me see if it pulls up. Okay. So I'm going to put it over here so you guys can see. I think it's going to, let me close this window so I can see whether you guys can see me. Okay, so it looks like you can see the edit window. So to be fair to myself, what I did is I actually just played around with it. I put a couple instruments on and bounced them out to WAV files to see if it will work. So I don't have any instruments other than what came with Pro Tools 12. So I haven't actually used anything. I was just playing around a couple things to see what the CPU usage was. And let me put that over there so you can actually see. So you can actually see what the usage is. So let me let you view the window that I have the actual what are they called? Let me get the screen together because my brain ain't working. Mix window, mix window views, narrow mix pull up the mix window for you. Where in the world? How do I get the mix window over here again? Come on. Okay, let me just go to Windows and go down to my window. Where's my window? There we go. Mix window. Okay. So from this screen, you should, if you've been messing with audio workstations for a while, first what I want you to do is take a look at my memory. My memory is at 30%. So this whole small program is on the RAM, and it's using 30% for the memory on the Mac Mini. Now the part that you don't realize is I actually only have 8 gigs of RAM on this computer. So at 8 gigs of RAM, it's loaded. It's loaded 30% of that memory of this program onto RAM. Now the total usage of all the cores, like the Mac Mini has 12 virtual cores, even though it's 6 cores, from what I understand, and they barely even move. So the processor itself is incredible. And the reason I say it's incredible is because I have 9 voices, and those voices are what the audio tracks, but that doesn't take into account. I had whenever you create these instances of Contact, or Reaper, they're very CPU intensive. Now, as you see, it went down to 31%. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate these native instruments, and you'll see the memory usage change. Probably when I make these active, they're all popping up on the other screen that you don't see, but I'm making them active, and you'll see the memory usage increase as I'm doing it. So just to be completely honest, am I making these things? I bypassed them. Let me make them back. Let me turn bypass off. Okay, there we go. Now it's going up. Okay. So let's do this one. Turn bypass off. And let's do this one. Turn bypass off. So right now they're active. And on the other screen, I could even pull them over here and stack them. They're actually, well, it only pops up one because I didn't tell it to make all of them pop up. So actually, it is, all of them are actually active. Now, if you look, these are processor extensive programs, and I'm sure that you guys are familiar with them, right? And what I want you to understand is even with 8 gigs, right, of memory, I'm using 50%. And as you see, now that all of them are active, you can actually see the virtual cores starting to jump, right? So I have never, with the Mac Pro cheese grater that I had, I would never be able to have, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instances of Contact active, much less using them. Now I haven't played. Now I don't want you to, kind of judge me by. I'm gonna move these out the way. Exit. by the sound. I just did it because I knew I was going to make a video, because I said I was going to make a video letting you know whether the Digio 3 was actually working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press play, right? And hopefully you'll hear it through the Focal speakers. And I don't know where it's going to start. Let me see here. Now it's going to start from here. I just basically just put in a couple sounds, play them on the key, mess around the keyboard, and I want you to see whether or not it crashes with 8 gigs running 50%. So I'm going to hit play. And you see the cores. And this is just me putting things on here just to see if it works. Yeah, it looks like everything is active. Right? Wonderful. Wonderful. Right? Now let's go in here and solo some stuff out, or mute some things, and see if it affects. Right? So to let you know it's actually playing this stuff and it's not, just me saying it. Right? So let's unmute some things. Right? Right? And this was just me playing around with it, and it's still going. Right? I probably could put another 20 on here and it will be fine. Right? Right? So this is, I just made one of red. This is the 2018 Mac Mini with like 7 inches of contact, which I've never been able to do on the cheese grater. And you can look at the cores for yourself. You can look at the cores for yourself. It's not even doing anything. So once I put 32 gigs of RAM in here, whatever, which is probably more than I need, but I'm probably going to put 64 just to not have to worry about it again. But this is a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. I mean, I hope this helped. Any questions about anything in here, or whatever, I'll make another video, of course, once the interface get here and I got it all hooked up and in the equipment rack. But this is your boy B-Man, and yeah, I'm gonna keep playing around with this picture-in-picture thing where you can screen record. And yeah, I think a tree like fell outside, so that's why I went to the door. It's like weird, like it sounded like somebody was trying to break in the house. But all right, this is your boy B-Man, and I'll catch you guys later.